Out of the Big Sky. Hey folks, Kevin Ann alongside former Oregon and Illinois volleyball player Nia Crittenden, and we had an incredible match just preceding this one. LMU defeating Washington in 5, so the winner will take on the Lions. On paper, Stanford has had a fantastic season. They figured to have the advantage, but this is a very good Sacramento State team that won their conference tournament.
Yeah, this will be a big one for Sacramento State. They have never defeated Stanford anytime they have faced each other, posting a 0-10 record in the all-time series with this team. Yeah. So they are looking for a big upset here. Last week, they're just coming off of a win with the Big Sky Tournament Championship over Northern Colorado. And with this win, they secured their spot in the NCAA tournament. So this is their first appearance since 2007.
So the winner gets LMU. Florida and Kansas will play in the second round tomorrow as we take a look at our updated bracket with LMU's 5-set triumph over the Dogs of Washington. And Stanford coming into this game, they went 17-3 in their first year in the ACC. As we take a look at their starting lineup for Kevin Hambly, as this is a look at correction, we do not have a starting lineup for you, but you know a little bit about Kevin Hambly, having played for him. What are the hallmarks of a Kevin Hambly coach team?
Yeah, I mean, you know, anyone who has watched Kevin coach, even from watching a broadcast on TV, he usually stays pretty even-keeled, tries to stay calm as he leads his team. His team knows what he expects out of his players. You know, he always is expecting the best from them, and the girls will look to him, you know, for that guidance and leadership. And you're not going to see Kevin on the sideline like you see with a lot of other coaches, a lot of yelling. He stays pretty calm, and the team knows that. And if you notice the way that Stanford plays, they are the same way. They usually stay calm on the court, even in tough moments.
He led them to a 29-4 record this year. They are 25-4 this year. So if they get to 29-4, that means they have moved on to the Final Four. And we'll see, and that'll be at the KFC Yum Center in Louisville, Kentucky. They will have to go through Louisville, most likely. Here is the starting lineup for Kevin Hambly. Cami Minor, one of the best setters in the country, the former Pac-12 setter of the year, first team All-ACC setter of the year this year. Anna Pringle, their DES, their libero, Elena Ogilvie, Jordan Harvey, Lizzie Andrew, Elia Rubin, and Sammy Francis making up the starting 5 for Coach Hambly.
Coming back from that, Cami Minor, she is tied right now with Maddie Bug for all assists all time. And I think right now with the first set of the game, whenever she gets that ball in her hand, she is going to pass Maddie Bug to be right behind 3-time NCAA champion Jenna Gray.
Jenna Gray was not a bad setter in her day. She was incredible. I watched a lot of Jenna Gray. I watched a lot of Maddie Bug too. But yeah, there's a look at the Hornets, the champions of the Big Sky. They finished third, really tied for second in the Big Sky regular season. They had the 3 seed in their conference tournament where they outlasted Northern Colorado in 5 sets in the championship match. There's Elena Ogilvie, the libero, in the off-colored uniform.
Getting ready now. She just surpassed 2,000 career digs, I think a couple of weeks ago. So for Ogilvie, that's also a pretty big milestone coming into the postseason.
3rd all-time in program history. And Sacramento State can say they had a lead against Stanford in the NCAA tournament with that kill right there. Ellie Tisco getting it done, second team All-Big Sky selection.
Starting this match off with a big swing there. We'll see what they do on the serve. The Hornets, 257 aces. They have the most in the nation currently for this season.
Yeah, they are a really good serving team. Averaging 2.5 aces per set, just about. That swing goes a little long there for Caitlin Volkman, who is first team all-conference this year.
Yeah, Caitlin Volkman. Out of Longmont, Colorado, 6-foot senior outside.
There's Harvey, sophomore, going long, way long on that serve for the Salt Lake City product. Bring up Ashlyn Archer, junior from St. John, Washington, 7th in the Big Sky in hitting percentage, hit .318 this year. Minor. Wow.
Sammy Francis so far over that Sacramento State block. don't know if they will have an answer for her, but first swing of the match, and she lands that one cross court, the big swing.
Yeah, tough to have an answer for 6'6", and someone as gifted as Sammy Francis is. Very skilled player, third in the ACC in hitting percentage, second in blocks percent. And there's an ace. Elia Rubin on serve.
She is having a season in their last match as well. One of Stanford's top scorers there in Rubin.
Rubin, fourth in the ACC in kills per set and points per set. Rejected by the tape.
Both teams pretty even keel to start.
Here comes Ellie Tisco, who had the first kill of the match. Two-time second team All Big Sky honoree, Tisco. Good set there for Ipar Kurt.
Ipar Kurt hits that one almost straight down, actually. 6'2" outside hitter. She redshirted last year and didn't play, and she's come out swinging this season. Played for Fenerbahce Sports Club in Turkey, for anyone who knows international sports.
That's big time.
Big time for sure.
Good pass that time. From the back row, pushed over by Bridget Smith. First team all-conference selection. A nice tip that time for Ipar Kurt.
Ipar Kurt out of Istanbul, Turkey. She also has spent some time with the Turkish national team as well before coming to Stanford to play college volleyball.
Won gold at the 2019 U17 Balkans, 2020 U19 European Championships. Was also representing Turkey there. Touched over the block, nicely done by Volkman.
A little back and forth there, a little tip there from Caitlin Volkman, and getting Stanford thrown off a little bit on their defense from that one.
Volkman with her first kill. She's serving now, second on the team with 3.72 kills per set. Very good attacker off the tape, a good serve.
For those watching, that is a top spin jump serve. If you're not familiar.
Big block, Lizzie Andrew there with Cami Minor. Andrew, the freshman at 6'5", ACC All-Frosh selection this year.
That is a huge block to face for Sac State, and even trying to use high hands is tough on Lizzie Andrew.
3/4 of a block per set for Andrew, second on the team. High ball here for Bridget Smith with the deep tip. Now the middle Andrew just smacks it into the net.
That ball a little low for her. She's pretty high up, was ready to go on that one, but just a little misconnection there, and I'm sure Stanford will figure that one out. Usually has a pretty good connection with Minor in front.
Reese Ampey, the libero, sophomore from Redding, California, in northern California, and that one goes into the net.
She's a transfer from American River JC in Sacramento, for any viewers who are familiar with that. She was their starting libero last year when she was a freshman before transferring to Sac State.
Yeah, averaged nearly 4.1 digs per set, really good number. That pass way off target, great serve. And Stanford takes a 3-point lead. It's Ipar Kurt.
Service ace from her.
20th of the season. Oh, good one. Good pass, too. Bridget Smith. Ogilvy, great job on the second contact, but
miscommunication there between Harvey and Kurt trying to get that ball, and unfortunately force an error, and Sac State gets to walk away with that point.
So here comes Kate Dorn, one of their setters. Haley Pluggy, their other setter, in their 6'2". Stanford runs a 5-1. Well, when you have Cami Minor, you don't want to take her off the court. Back set for Harvey on a platter. What makes Cami Minor such a good setter?
Court vision. She reads her hitters really, really well. knows exactly which ball they need, knows what to give them. And I mean, obviously we know her athleticism, her skill, but really being able to get the ball on target. That's one thing I've noticed with her. No matter where she moves around the court, being able to find her hitter and giving them a ball that they can really do something with and have options.
Bridget Smith, by the way, just ripping the seam on the block. You can see why. She's a former Big Sky MVP. It happened last year. She was All-America Honorable Mention 2023 when they won the Big Sky regular season championship. The roll shot there works for Jordan Harvey.
Yeah, Bridget Smith, she had a career-high 30 kills in that tournament match to win the tournament and for her to get MVP.
To go along with 13 digs, hit 464. That's cooking. Volkman went off high hands.
Volkman taking big swings there. She knows she has a big block in front of her. Doesn't stop her though. She sees those hands and she's going for it. Turns that ball down the line. Smart play there by her.
I'll bring Mia Guevara in. DS, junior from Morgan Hill. It's about 45 minutes south of here, so.
Ruben Roll shotting that ball.
Smith from the back row.
She sneaks that one through the block.
Yeah, at first I couldn't tell if that went over the net or not.
She got that one in on Sacramento State's block.
Elia Rubin.
Big swing there.
Her first kill won't be her last.
That's for coach to say, keep your hands pressed over the net.
That's why. Good blocking coverage by Dorn. Minor selects Francis. Good dig. Dorn again set her out second time. Credit the Hornets for scrapping for that point.
Also, really good block. Volkman came inside. She saw where Francis was going, saw that the set was left inside for her. And honestly, even though they're in the right spot, she's just so high over them. So it really comes down to backcourt coverage, them stepping in, knowing where her favorite spots are to step in and defend that ball like they did, and they're able to turn that over for a point in that last play.
Well, a bad pass, but the joust won by Cammie Minor, showing her physicality. Cammie Minor, a 4-year starting setter, Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, Pac-12 Setter of the Year, Pac-12 Setter of the Year, ACC Setter of the Year, First Team All-American. She has done it all.
So accomplished and such a leader for this Stanford team, really keeping them in it through this season.
Volkman going line. Just missing.
Volkman actually primarily played right side last season for the Hornets, which is interesting seeing her now on the outside. But yeah, our last 2 seasons.
And ace. Ooh, that was nasty. Great work there on the ace from Coco Kirsch. Coco, sophomore DS, into the net.
Volkman back to serve now. Among one of the taller hitters on this Sac State team at 6 foot.
Yeah, size discrepancy between these two teams.
Serves that top spin jump serve a little long.
And that takes us to 15, so that'll take us to our media timeout. We'll come back. Stanford has opened up a 5-point lead on the Hornets, the champions of the Big Sky, taking on the tied for second team in the ACC. Stanford leading Sacramento State here midway through the first set. Kevin Ananai Crittenden with you. Let's take a look at the Sacramento State starting lineup. Volkman, Garton, Bridget Smith, Kate Dorn, Ellie Tisco, Ashlyn Archer, and Reese Ampey.
Yeah, this starting lineup, you have Kate Dorn, who usually is running a 6-2 offense with fellow setter Haley Pluggy, senior setter out of Bakersfield, California. And they did that all last season as well.
This is Cami Minor to serve.
Perfect pass from Volkman.
Minor, they'll set Harvey.
And Sac State might learn from that one not to give Harvey the line, as she just
Ooh.
took that with force.
Wrist away, and
Nice wrist away swing there from Jordan Harvey.
away that point went. Minor. High off the platform. Volkman with a good pass, and
She get the hands on that one? She does.
I thought she did.
Okay, Bridget Smith, 5'10", senior outside hitter. Gets high hands on that one.
Reese Ampey to serve. Good serve. It's an ace.
Gets an ace on that one.
And a really nice Sacramento State cheering section behind us. I have quite a bit of fans here. First ace for the Hornets.
Adding to that number I gave earlier, 257, now 258 aces. The Hornets have the most aces in the nation.
Yeah, I said 2.5 aces percent, 2.1, but still, that's 7th in the country in aces percent, as you mentioned. Total service aces. Sacramento State tops the charts. There's Ipar Kurt. There's an ace.
And returns it right back onto the Sac State team.
Stanford has been serving tough. That is their 4th ace of the first set, which is otherworldly.
And they are going to continue to go after it with this team, keep them out of system. Always is the plan.
Overpass. Sacramento State recovers well. Oh, look, Stanford able to keep this rally going. And the swing goes long out of the middle.
A little bit of a mistimed connection there. The ball was still going up as she took a swing at that one, so that one sails straight out, unfortunately.
Timeout, Ruben Volta, the head coach, the longtime head coach of Sacramento State. And he's led Sacramento State to their first NCAA tournament in 17 years. This is his 17th season on the job. Last time they went to the tournament, he was the associate head coach. Their 11th NCAA Division I tournament. Made it to the second round a couple of times, including the last time in 2007. Ruben Volta.
He's been named the Big Sky Coach of the Year 3 times during his tenure here with Sacramento State.
Yes, he has 2015, 2017, 2023. He's been really good at home in recent years. And their last tournament 17 years ago. They won an NCAA Division II championship in 1981. They were AIAW Division III champions in 1980. So they went AIAW Division III, NCAA Division II to NCAA Division I. This is their 34th season of NCAA Division I volleyball. Playing in the Big Sky. Looking for their first ever win against the Stanford Cardinal.
I think we talked about this earlier. They have not been able to beat Stanford ever in the times that they've matched up. Today, playing Stanford for the 5th time, now 6th time in the NCAA tournament. 2002 and 2003, 2006 and 2007, and now in 2024. And each of those outcomes resulted in a 3-0 Cardinal victory.
Stanford 6 points away from taking the first set here against the Bees. Smith, you see, she gets up. That's a good vertical.
Ruben tried to turn that one line, but actually Sac State responds with their own line shot from Bridget Smith. She swings that one down into the corner there.
This was a really impressive swing from number 8.
Right past Jordan Harvey. You can see there she kind of leaned inside, thought maybe she was going to take away the cross, and Bridget Smith said, nope, I'm going to take this one down line.
Sister Delaney, a middle blocker at Western Oregon. First Hornet to be named Big Sky Freshman of the Year since 2004 when she got it 4 years ago in 2020. This is her 5th year as Andrew misses into the net. Sacramento State's not out of this set yet.
A little misconnection timing there with Cammie Minor and Andrew in the middle, trying to get her going here.
Second time that Andrew and Minor haven't been on the same page here in the first set.
Yeah, they haven't connected yet tonight, so I'm sure she'll be going back to her, try to get that going, momentum going between those two.
But hey, Elia Rubin also works.
Nice big swing there from her, cross court to the corner.
Ogilvy, the libero, will come on. 3.95 digs per set this year. Two-time Pac-12 libero of the year in 2022 and 2023. Stanford went to the Elite Eight last year, the regional final. Lost to Tejas. Oh, ready for the roll shot, the Sacramento State block.
Rubin usually so good on those shots. She has a lot of different shots. She likes to mix it up when she can. Doesn't quite get it on that one, but that won't be the last of the roll shot we'll see from her tonight.
Game effort here from the Hornets in the first set. Rubin tipping perfectly.
As I said, always has something up her sleeve to keep the other team's defense on their toes. She will find something, even when she can swing away.
Sacramento State's using its second timeout. All right, Nia, how many different shots did you have in your toolbox back in the day at Oregon and Illinois?
Oh, I always just wanted to swing as hard as I could. I really used to tip when I had to.
Okay.
But as I played the end of my college career and especially into playing professionally, I finally learned, hey, you can't always just swing away,
yeah.
Right? You got to mix it up a little bit here. And so one thing I really, really used to like was the power tip. That was probably something that I really loved, was pretty good at.
Nice.
A power tip is always hard to stop.
Did you learn that under Kevin Hambly, or was that before Illinois?
Oh, no, that was just something that I did, and Kevin would just be like, okay.
Yeah, so you've played for Kevin Hambly. What do you like about him as a coach?
As a coach, really steady. I think I talked a little bit about this earlier. The way that he leads a team, it's one of those things where as a player, you just don't want to disappoint him. And it's not because he's going to yell at you. He's usually not going to yell at you. But you want to make sure that you're doing the things that you're supposed to do, making plays the way you want to make them. And when he kind of gives you just a look, it's a disappointment. Hey, I know you can do better. But it's a look of, I know you can do better. I've seen you do better. And I know you can be the best player you can be.
He has been a very successful head coach wherever he's been. 196-41 at Stanford, 374-127 overall, 38-10 in NCAA tournament matches. I mean, you're batting almost 800 in the NCAA tournament. You're doing some things right. Of course, took Illinois to the NCAA finals in 2011. Sweet 16s there, 6 of them, and 2 NCAA titles here at Stanford. Looking for a third.
During my first season at Illinois, went to the Sweet 16 in 2015.
Good swing going line there for Ellie Tisco. Her third kill of the match. There's Mia Guevara. Mia, 13 aces, 10 errors on the season. Ogilvy handles it well. From the back row, it's Harvey. And Volkman, they have to play it.
Misconnection there. Miscommunication between Sac State, but they keep it in. A little bit of a scrappy play here.
Longest rally of the match thus far. Wow, look at Sacramento State keeping this going.
Playing that off of the Jumbotron, actually.
And
they lose that one. Wow, that one just back and forth. That big swing from Rubin there, but they're able to keep that ball in play.
Big round of applause from both fan bases after that entertaining rally. And Elia Rubin will go back to serve. She's got an ace already, a dig, 2 assists, and 4 kills for the Cardinals' top attacker, Cardinal apostrophe S. I know it's not Cardinals. Stanford fans will get on you for that.
It is the Cardinal. Remember
Singular.
that.
It's the color, not the bird. Louisville Cardinals. Stanford Cardinal. They could meet in the regional final this year. Potentially. But Sacramento State has other ideas. That's Volkman with her third kill.
Volkman getting her feet to that ball. Does not matter that the out-of-system set from the libero from Ampey was really inside. She takes a step in. Stanford block did not get all the way over to cover that one, and she takes a huge swing cross-court on the line.
Epar Kurt cranking that one back.
Great swing there from Epar Kurt. And that one, great set from Cami Minor. Bump set to Epar Kurt. She takes a big swing on that.
You mentioned she played in Fenerbahce's system. I take it you went up against Fenerbahce when you were playing professionally in Turkey?
Playing in Turkey, yes. That team, Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, for anyone that also watches soccer, for example, because those are huge international soccer clubs, as well as huge international pro volleyball clubs. Epar Kurt, a part of Fenerbahce for a long time, and the way that they do things there is, you know, obviously very different than here in the U.S. They have the younger players kind of grow up in the system of pro volleyball there. So even as a young player, you are sometimes playing and on teams with Olympians and really seasoned professionals.
Oh, a set point coming up for the Cardinal. They got 6 of them to mess around with. Should it get that far? Stanford fans are rising as one as Cami Minor goes back to put set numero uno away. 11 assists for her in the first set. Good swing, Bridget Smith. Doing a nice job.
Not yet.
Yeah, that's for sure. Hitting 273, 4 kills. Average 4.2 kills per set. Had 521 kills in the regular season and through the conference tournament. As I mentioned earlier, 30 kills in the Big Sky Tournament Championship match. A 5-set win over Northern Colorado. From the back row, Volkman. Overdig. Smith, no. And Harvey has terminated the set.
Harvey, always someone that I notice Cami Minor really likes to go to end a set. In their last match against Louisville, same thing. She ended 2 different sets during that match. Minor always going to her in those tight plays.
One set in the books, and Stanford leads Sacramento State 25-19. Cami Minor, 12 assists in that first set. Back-to-back Setter of the Year awards in 2 different conferences. That's probably a pretty short list. If you do it at the same school, Conference Setter of the Year in 2 different conferences, I imagine there are not many people who have done that, Naya.
No, Cami Minor, such an accomplished setter and someone for this Stanford team to look to lead. She is always a leader on the court for her team, and the way that her and even Elena Ogilvie, the way that they run their system, always calm, keeping the girls engaged. She's just so dynamic in what she does, and it's been great to watch her this season.
Her father, Harold, was nicknamed Baby Jordan, 2-time NBA Slam Dunk champion, was a consensus All-American at USC. 1992 Pac-10 Player of the Year, played 4 years in the NBA. Good article on Harold Minor and Cami Minor by ESPN maybe a year ago or so, talking about Cami's career. Now Harold passing the torch to his daughter, and has been instrumental in her training over the course of her, obviously her younger days, but
very disciplined athlete, very disciplined on the court, very, very good at what she does. Obviously, as we can see, I think we talked about it a little bit earlier in the first set, that she just passed Maddie Bug on the all-time assist list, now second behind former 3-time NCAA champion Jenna Gray. So she is in the mix for some of Stanford's best all-time setters.
Yeah, that's elite company right there. So Kate Dorn will serve. 6 assists, 4 digs. She's on pace for a double-double. All that coming in the first set. Set number 2 is underway with a service ace. Excuse me. Service error. It wasn't close. I just said the wrong thing.
Sammy Francis back in.
Elena Ogilvy, All-America honorable mention each of the last 2 years. Going out wide to Bridget Smith. What a dig in back row.
Ball goes back over there.
Eventually cleaned up. Anna Pringle had that over dig to give Stanford a chance.
Ellie Tisco playing on the right side for Sac State. 6'1" senior gets that kill.
Do you ideally have a lefty on the right side if you can?
I would say ideally, yes. I remember when I was starting to play, I was actually a lefty middle, which is not something you see.
Yeah.
And after that, they were like, okay, let's move you over.
I feel like I've seen maybe 1 or 2 over the years, not a lot.
It also just gives, the other team on defense a different look because of the way that, as a lefty, the way that we approach the ball, the way that we hit. A lot of teams have to adjust since usually there tend to be a lot more right-handed hitters all around the court. Having someone who's a lefty, it makes you have to adjust your defense a lot.
Seen a few lefty setters, but yeah, lefty middle's not as common. There's Ashlyn Archer. Good pass. From the back row, Harvey pummels that one.
Big swing out of the back row from Jordan Harvey. Stanford sometimes gets that going, not all the time, not super common, but when they do and when it's on, and when she's connecting with Cami Minor, as you can see, it's money.
Yeah, love watching the back row attack. Rubin off the tape. That's tough to deal with, but Sacramento State's going to be able to return this serve and get a side out of it thanks to Caitlin Volkman.
Big swing for Caitlin Volkman there. One of Sac State's leading scorers on the team. A lot of leadership from the senior.
Serve goes long. LMU is in attendance for the first set, and looks like they're going to head back to the team hotel.
Win secured and getting ready for tomorrow.
And again, LMU will take on the winner of this match. 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern. There's Coco Kirsch. 1 ace already. And swing.
Off
Get
the
a touch.
hands of Lizzie Andrew there in the middle. And they get that point.
Volkman serve, number 4, and a 4-all second set.
Another top spin jump serve there. Doesn't quite get that one over.
It's more of a high-risk, high-reward serve.
Yeah, when it's on, you can get it in. I know sometimes, though, a lot of players, especially anyone who is on serve receive, depending on the top spin, it sometimes can be easier to pass than a float serve.
Really?
Yeah. Float serves, done right, can be very, very difficult because of the way that the ball moves as it crosses the net. But
knuckling action.
Yeah, with top spins, sometimes, depending on placement, it can be a little easier to pass. The roll lands in your platform.
Big swing there from Bridget Smith, who's got 5 kills to match Volkman.
Yeah, the Stanford block just a little too far outside on her on that swing.
4 players in this match with 5 kills, 2 aside. Rubin with a nice pass in the middle. Andrew. The set from Lizzie Andrew for Harvey.
Even with that set being inside, Harvey gets her feet to that ball and takes a big swing cross court. Sac State block stays outside on that one. She had open court on that swing, basically.
Yeah. That's her 6th kill. should put her to 600. They gave Ruben the kill, but that was Harvey. They'll get that corrected. Touchdown by Lizzie Andrew.
No one was touching that ball from 6'5" Lizzie Andrew. You can see that here in the replay. Think straight down.
Yep. Boop. Oh, lead is 2 for the Cardinal.
Strong serve from Kurt.
Kurt has another ace. That's her 3rd of the match. She came into this match with 19 aces all season, has 3 already. For the flute-playing Istanbul native. Kurt again, high off the platform is Smith, who gets it back.
Kurt really keeping this Sac State team out of system every time she goes back to serve. They have not really had an answer yet for her serves.
I think maybe one more point. Ruben Volta might have to think about stopping the action, just try to disrupt her rhythm. Oh!
They get a little break from that missed serve there.
That was almost over. Dorn will come in and serve.
Sac State actually on a 4-match winning streak heading into this tournament. And their Big Sky tenure this year.
In the quarterfinals, they defeated Idaho State. Portland State defeated Idaho State in the semis, and then Northern Colorado in the championship.
Jordan Harvey of Stanford, she is just on fire right now, taking big swings all around the court. We've seen kills from her on the outside, on the right, and out of the back row.
Ogilvie to serve. Into the net.
You see the frustration on Ogilvie's face on that one.
Yeah.
Not happy about missing that one there, but see what Sac State can bring back to this Stanford team now with their serve.
That's Bridget Smith. Forces the overpass. Stanford able to send this one over via the free ball. In the middle. Nice dig, Cammie Minor. Over on 2 unintentionally, and Sacramento State back within 2.
Ogilvie running to try to save that ball and set that up for Ruben to take a rip at it, but just a little too close to the net, so played that one at the net there with Ellie Tisco trying to hit that one in.
So 3 of the last 4 have gone to the Hornets. Good pass. And Ruben gets it back.
Sammy Francis holding that Sac State block. As you saw, they were expecting a big swing from her, and they leave the outside completely open for Ruben, which you never want to do on Ruben, but good play by Stanford there.
Yeah, like Sammy Francis should get some sort of assist there for holding that double block. Taylor Yu is into serve and nearly had an ace. They can't get it over, and Taylor Yu, the freshman from Temple City, with a really nice serve. She's 3rd on the team in aces.
Only a freshman, putting some heat on this serve to the Sac State team.
That will be her 27th ace of the season.
She has a solid float serve. As you can see, tight to the tape. Goes over.
Off 1 foot on the back slide attack. It's Sammy Francis.
Big swing there on the slide from Sammy Francis. She's making faces excited about her own swing on that one.
And timeout call.
Inside, and
so 13-8. Stanford has opened up a 5-point lead here in the second set. Midway through set number 2, looking for a Saturday night date with LMU. We'll be back with more after this. Well, Sacramento State trailing in this second set 13-8. Here's a look at their last 10 matches. They've won 8 of 10 and actually 9 of 11. So they started conference play 4-0, then lost 3 of 4, and then won 4 in a row. And you see right here, they've won their last 4. A couple of 5-setters against Weber State and Northern Colorado to win the Big Sky Championship.
Yeah, and they're overall 21-11 in the Big Sky, 11-5. So obviously trying and hoping that they can upset Stanford here to get the first win in the series. But as I said earlier, Sacramento State has never defeated Stanford anytime they faced each other. So this would be 0-10 on the record in the all-time series against the Cardinal.
And there's Volkman with the swing and gets the kill. A timeout works for Ruben Volta, 3-time Big Sky Coach of the Year. Back row for Harvey, didn't clear the tape.
Yeah, Harvey and Minor usually trying to find each other. I think we talked a little bit about that back row attack earlier. When it's on, it's really on and it's great, but sometimes they do have some issues there with figuring out the timing with that play.
And serving, Guevara missed. 14-10.
Park coming back onto the floor now. Redshirt freshman, one of the younger ones on the squad, but coming in with a lot of experience, like we talked about with her being from Istanbul, Turkey, and playing at such a high level from such a young age.
And serve goes long for Elia Rubin. Saw a little bit of frustration on her face after as we'll see Tisco now. 4 for 8, hitting 5 hundo with a couple of blocks for the outside/opposite.
Perfect pass from Rubin there. Right to a nice set from Cammie Minor and a nice kill from E. Parker.
Bump set spike. This is what I was going to say in the first match, at the end of the first match. What I like about USC volleyball fans, they do the U on the bump. S. See ya.
Yeah, it's always a fun one with USC.
Of course, you got some USC ties. Your brother a football player there?
Yeah, my brother was a football player there, so I spent a lot of time down in LA during his time there.
It's out to Kurt. They're going to set up Volkman. Harvey was there. High ball for Kurt. Got a touch.
They get the touch on that one. Her going high hands. Sac State. Volkman looking a little annoyed that she got that one.
There comes Coco Kirsch. Cardinal looking to extend the lead to 6. Volkman tried to cut that one to the 10-foot line. Did not really come close.
Kirsch putting pressure on that serve receive with that low and tight float serve there. She has a very good serve. Get teams out of system.
Another nice one. That thing really just dipped right before it got to the passer.
She gets the ace on that.
Maybe her second ace of the match. Coco Kirsch now with 5 on the season. Had 3 aces all season and 2 tonight for the Trabuco Canyon product. Off 1 foot, the slide is dug out. And there's the kill going off the block and down for Ipar Kurt. Timeout, Ruben Volta.
Yeah, and that ball, not able to get all the way out on that one, but Ipar Kurt sees her trying to reach and she tools and uses her hand on that one.
Well, Stanford made it to the NCAAs last year, all the way to the regional final, losing to Texas. And they lost to them in 4 sets. Before that, they swept Fresno State in the first round, defeated Houston in 5 sets in the second round, and took care of Arizona State in the Sweet 16 in an all Pac-12 battle. Now, of course, Arizona State in the Big 12, their football team playing for the Big 12 championship. And Stanford, of course, in the ACC. It's an 18-team league. Stanford picked to finish second. They finished tied for second. Pitt is very, very good. The #1 team in the country. Good.
Yeah, Stanford here, knowing they want to close out with a win in this region of the NCAA tournament. 8 seasons under Kevin Hambly. Stanford is 96-12 here at Maples Pavilion, including 18-2, actually 19-2 now in the NCAA tournament.
That's quite the record at home. Just show the graphic here. Stanford 136 team national championships, most of any athletic department in the country, and they have the most women's volleyball championships of any program in the country with 9, looking for their 10th. Been to 17 national championship matches. The last one in 2019.
Former setter Jenna Gray.
Yep.
On that squad.
Catherine Plummer.
Morgan Hentz, Hinsville.
Morgan Hentz, yeah. One of the most exciting liberos of all time, Morgan Hentz. Dove for everything.
For everything. I got to have the pleasure of playing with Morgan Hentz, Madeline Gates, and Jenna Gray in Germany.
Nice. Yeah, that's a squad right there. Pass. That's Andrew off the slide.
And Cami Minor connect on that slide, and she gets the kill on that one. One thing I really like about Cami Minor is even in moments in matches when one of her hitters, maybe they're a little bit off, you can tell she trusts her teammates. She will give them the ball at some point. She won't ever just stop going to someone. And she wants to build their confidence back up and get them back into gameplay.
Ooh, Bridget Smith with the delivery. It's her 6th kill. She's kind of been slowed up. Slowed down, I should say. Got off to a really efficient start. She's hitting 167 now. Stanford out hitting Sacramento State 419 to 196. In the middle, Lizzie Andrew with a slam dunk.
What I was just talking about, Cami Minor, you see her taking a look at Lizzie Andrew, letting her know, hey, this ball is coming to you. I want to get you involved in this offense. And as you can see, they finally connect in the middle on that one, and she swings away and scores.
Yeah, traditionally, middles have higher hitting percentages. Andrew, a bit of a slow start, hitting 143. There's an ace, and it is the 8th ace of the match for the Cardinal and the 4th ace for Ipar Kurt, who just had them under so much service pressure tonight.
She's on a roll right now with the serves. Stanford coaches signaling where she should be going after them on their serve receive.
Not exactly how Ruben Volta drew it up, but hey, a side out is a side out, and there's Ashlyn Archer's first kill. See them laughing about it.
Kate Dorn back to serve on Sac State side. Anna Pringle in for Ipar Kurt for the serve receive.
Off the tape and an ace. That is indefensible.
Did you see Lizzie Andrew talking to Elena Ogilvie because she didn't mean to touch that ball? Elena Ogilvie coming up, she saw it was falling short, and they have a little bit of a miscommunication there with taking that pass.
Oh, Sacramento State not waving the white flag in the second set. Back set for Harvey, and that missed.
Hits that one long, does not get hands off of Sac State's block on that swing.
And Dorn having a nice little service run here. 9 assists, 4 digs. The Sac State setup. This is Ruben. That'll cauterize the wound.
Ruben finding that long cross-court corner. Always a good spot to go for if you can get to it. Very hard to defend on that one.
Works there for Stanford. And here's Ogilvie. Back row blocked by Sammy Francis.
The 6'6" middle blocker. Sometimes hard to get around that.
Yeah. One of the big cliches in sports, you can't teach height. And for the set here, it's Ogilvy. In the middle, nice swing. Out of the middle, it's Ashlyn Archer with her second strike of the night.
Sac State trying to get their offense going there. Ashlyn Archer, the 6'1" junior middle blocker out of the state of Washington. She's actually played right side before.
That goes down, and that's the set. 25-17. It's Elia Rubin as Stanford hits 526 in the second set.
Teams are always so used to Rubin taking big swings. When she does off speed, it usually goes down.
We'll be back with the third set after this. All right, 2 sets down, perhaps just 1 to go, though who knows after the game, the match that we had right before is LMU winning in 5 sets. They were up 2-0. They were up 19-12 in the third before Washington roared back and forced LMU to win in 5 sets and taking the 5th set 19-17. So the winner will get this. The winner will get LMU tomorrow night. Should be a fun one. That's a scrappy LMU team. They might be a little undersized in Naya, but they are fun to watch.
Well, that was something we talked about with that match. Even though they were undersized, had a couple of 5'9" middle blockers on that team, but it did not matter against a much taller University of Washington. And we know that they will be prepared to try to face Stanford, but even then, Stanford with a little bit more height in their 2 6'5" and 6'6" middle blockers. But going into Elia Rubin here.
And 9 kills, hitting 500 on the match. Has a couple of attack errors, 2 assists, 3 digs, and an ace. Had a really nice finish to the regular season against Louisville, Naya.
Yeah, 22 kills, season high against Louisville in that last match there. And Stanford often looks to her to lead the team in points and kills. She brings so much fire and energy to the court. And one thing I've noticed with Rubin, she never looks like she's shaky at all when she plays. Always pretty steady, always ready to go, and Cami Minor can really rely on her on the court.
She's a sophomore from Brentwood, California, was Pac-12 All-Freshman, all Pac-12 All-Region last year, and Elia Rubin picking up first-team All-ACC honors this year. Stanford finishing in a tie for second in the ACC with the Louisville Cardinals. They beat each other once, those two. Pitt finishing first in the regular season, SMU finishing in 4th. That's the top 4 of the 18-team ACC. 9 teams making the NCAA tournament out of the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Yeah, Elia Rubin, 4th in the ACC in kills per set, 3rd in points per set, and All-ACC first team this year. Good season for her. She dances on the sideline there.
Meanwhile, Sacramento State led by Bridget Smith, who has 6 kills, hitting 167. And this is a former Big Sky MVP in 2023. First team All-Big Sky this year, 4.2 kills per set. That is a very, very good number. In fact, it's best in the Big Sky. But if you are Sacramento State, what's the message from Ruben Volta? How do you try to get yourself back into this one?
I think in this one, just talking to the team, coming out, as we can see smiles on their faces with positivity. The match is not over yet. Come back and figure out how you can have an answer for Stanford's big swings. What do you need to do on the defense? What do we need to change? Back row, where should we stand? How do we adjust? We're undersized, we know that. What can we do to kind of offset things? Sure, that's what they talked about in their huddle. And also coming back, they're going to have an answer for Stanford's tough serving team in order to get the offense going and try to stay in system as much as possible against the Cardinals.
So Ogilvy will serve to start set number 3. Stanford 25 points away from a Saturday night second round contest with the Lions of LMU, the champions of the West Coast Conference. WCC versus ACC potentially, but maybe the Big Sky champs have something to say about that. We'll soon find out. From the back row, it's Volkman.
Almost perfect dig there from Ogilvy.
It's the 8th dig for Elena Ogilvy.
She surpassed 2,000 career digs recently in the last couple of weeks.
That's pretty good. She's got 2032 for her career, if I can do the math correctly. 2024 plus 8, yeah, 2032.
Ball's out of system.
Ogilvy, the dig.
Look at that set from Minor, cross court.
Back row, Volkman squeezes it through the block, but Stanford's able to recover.
And that ball bouncing off of Jordan Harvey's head, keeping it in play.
Back set, Harvey able to
back.
force it down.
You're not going to let a ball bounce off of my head.
No.
She's got to come back with a kill now.
Jordan Harvey getting it done. Jordan, her father Anthony was a basketball player at the University of Utah. Her cousin is Aaron Gordon, a big-time San Jose guy who's obviously with the Denver Nuggets, won an NBA title. Really good player in the NBA.
I remember when he went off to Arizona. Such a big deal here in the Bay Area for him. A solid career. And Jordan Harvey with 7 kills so far in the night.
There's an ace for Ogilvy. It's the 9th ace for Stanford. That is just, if you're averaging 2 aces per set, you are an elite serving team. They're at 9 through like 2.1 sets right now.
Another big push there from Cami Minor, and Rubin gets that one off of the hands of Sac State's block for a kill.
With a Rubin getting the kill, the other Rubin might be thinking about stopping the action. Rubin Volta, that is. Just gonna let him play through it for now. But season on the line here for the Hornets. Don't want to get down too big in this do or die set. Good dig.
Anna Pringle filling the hole there on that block.
The swing goes wide, and Sacramento State gets on the board here in the 3rd set.
Back with Ampey to serve here. Sac State's sophomore libero from Redding, California. For anyone who's familiar with North.
Yeah, like close to Oregon. Rubin dug out.
Big swing there, but they dig that ball, send it back over to Stanford.
It'll be Rubin. Ooh, wow, that was a nice swing and a good set.
Sac State's middle blocker once again, watching Sammy Francis in the middle, thinking she's going to go for it. So she leaves her pin hitter by herself, and Rubin just puts the ball away.
Yeah. Bon chance, we might say. Good luck.
Perfect pass from Ampey there. Oh, but misconnection with the setter. And then middle blocker on that one.
And here comes the timeout from Rubin Volta. So that'll take us to our mandatory timeout in the 3rd set. Stanford, good start if they are trying to get the sweep. They're up 6-1 here on the Hornets. We'll be back with the rest of the 3rd set after this timeout on ESPN+. All right, set number 3. Good start here for 2nd-seeded Stanford as they lead 6-1 against Sacramento State. Kevin Ananiah Crittenden with you as you look at Sammy Francis, Cami Minor, and Elia Rubin. That is quite the front row to have.
Yeah, waiting on this serve here from opposite the right side. Jordan Harvey coming into this Stanford team. Sophomore opposite from Salt Lake City. Been key for Stanford's offense.
Good serve. 10th ace.
Starts the coming out of the timeout off with an ace here. Solid float serve.
First ace for Harvey. She's the 6th Cardinal player to register an ace in this match. Smith able to tool the block.
High hands off of Sammy Francis in the middle there. You see her kind of talking about it, figuring out how'd she get that one, but she's underneath and, you know, just goes high hands on her, and she's able to score on that ball.
You're going to need a service run at some point if you're Sacramento State. Can Dorn provide an answer? Good dig by Ampey. Smith sent back. Ampey at full stretch. Good scrap there from Sacramento State. It's Francis off 1 foot, and that block will land out.
Sac State pretty excited to even get a hand on that ball with Francis. She's been mostly almost hitting over them so far in this match, but they're able to get a hand on that ball. Even though it lands out, Francis gets the point and the kill on that one.
There was something you said at the end of the second set I want to ask you about after this point, which is, of course, an ace for Stanford, the 11th of the match. There was a player talking about earlier, made the transition from middle to right side or the other way around. You were middle at one point, too, made that transition to right side. How big of an adjustment is that?
Oh, man. I mean, it was really different because that's when I first ever started playing volleyball. So quick attacks in the middle, it's just a way different way to approach the ball. You know, your relationship to the setter, making sure that you're always up no matter what is happening in the play. So it was a lot different to switch to the right side, different court vision and everything like that. Same thing with blocking. But yeah, I mean, especially as a lefty middle. Yeah. I don't think there's many that I can talk to about that, right?
Yeah, that is very true. As the block lands just out. But you get the feeling watching this third set that Stanford's like, all right, let's get this thing over with and get ready for LMU.
Yeah, and you kind of saw that on Sammy Francis's face there with that one, wanting that one to land inside, but.
Ipar Kurt, nice swing. 7th kill. Stanford is hitting north of 420, 431 on the match. Sacramento State's hitting 200, which is pretty good for them against an ACC team. Like, you can hit 200 against a team of this caliber. That's not bad, but 431 is elite. That is way long.
That ball from Coco Kirsch. Sailing quite a bit out, but giving Sac State a break there.
There's Ashlyn Archer. Off 1 foot, that's Lizzie Andrew off the slide.
And again, 6'5" middle blocker Lizzie Andrew hitting almost over this Sacramento block here in between. Left a little bit of a seam there for her.
What's it take to have a successful slide attack?
Ooh. Making sure you're on time, getting around with your setter, but also, I mean, it depends on the speed, and, you know, every middle is obviously different, where the ball lands on the net and how fast you're able to get around to take a big swing on that ball.
Tisco with the kill there. There is Ellie Tisco subbing out. As Haley Pluggy will come on. One of 2 setters in their 6-2. In the middle, Lizzie Andrew. And the connection's better with Cammie Minor here.
Yeah, Cammie really wanting to get Lizzie going here. Keeping her involved in the offense, and to answer the rest of what you were talking about with the slide also. Trying to make sure as a middle, I'd love for a middle to explain it better than I can, because I never ran slides on that side since I'm a lefty, but yeah, wanting to stay upright to give yourself options. You don't want to be too one-dimensional where you can only turn and hit one way on a slide attack.
Kurt, she has been the best server in this match, just forced an overpass, and there's Harvey. This Ipar Kurt serve has been nasty.
Timeout for Sac State after that one. Huge swing from Jordan Harvey on that overpass. Sac State does not have an answer for that one.
What have you noticed from Ipar Kurt's serving tonight?
She's really keeping Sac State, I mean, they're not able to really run anything, keeping this team out of system. It's always what you want to do, but, you know, they're struggling, especially when she goes back to serve, even to get a swing out of system.
Yeah, that makes it tough. Stanford has 12 aces, and that only begins to tell the story of their serving. And they are sighting out 86% of the time, too.
Ipar Kurt leading the team right now with 4 aces, and Ruben right behind her with 3.
Coco Kirsch with 2, 3 others with 1. So that's a pretty diverse service success for Stanford. You have 6 players with an ace.
Interestingly enough, on both teams, total blocks 3 apiece.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Definitely, especially with the size of Stanford. I'm actually a little bit shocked, but I mean, obviously we can tell Sac State knew what they were coming up against. You notice they're trying to go for it high hands. They don't stuff block by over 6-foot blocking crew with Stanford.
Yeah, you figured they would be overmatched in the blocking department, especially because Sacramento State's only 8th in the Big Sky in blocks per set. There's only 10 teams in the Big Sky, and Stanford was a middle-of-the-pack ACC team. You figure middle-of-the-pack ACC versus a bottom-tier Big Sky in terms of blocks per set. That's a huge advantage for the Cardinal, but that has not been the case. Of course, when you have 12 aces, you don't need that many blocks. Volkman wiping that one down the line.
Yeah, and I think, Sac State, when they are getting a chance to hit here, they are being really smart. They know what's in front of them. You see that in Volkman's choice there. Instead of swinging, she decides to go for a tip there, knowing that Andrew is coming over, and she has Jordan Harvey right in front of her.
Was that like your power tip back in the day?
Yeah, except mine would be, because of my height, a little more straight down.
Okay.
But that was a very smart tip from Volkman there, straight out to the back corner down the line.
There's an ace for Volkman. So point on serve here for the Hornets.
And she gets that ace, finding her rhythm a little bit with this top spin jump serve.
That lands in.
Another one. She's coming alive with it. Had a couple of misses in the beginning, a few service errors. Getting a little bit more rhythm with this top spin jump serve here.
Well, if she just keeps serving aces, then Sacramento State's going to win the set. She's got 17 more to get. There goes that.
Perfect pass from Ogilvie right to Jordan Harvey, who just slams that one.
You kind of mentioned it
from her
earlier, Naya. Jordan Harvey's somewhat of a safety valve here for Cammie Minor.
Yeah. I've noticed the last couple of matches into the set, if Cammie has a choice of where to go, it's usually to Harvey.
Ogilvie serving. High ball here for Smith, and that was not touched by Stanford. Tough second contact.
Stanford 16-8 right now. Ogilvie back to serve. She's been putting a lot of pressure on this Sac State serve receive.
There's Ogilvie. Oh, just rejected by the tape.
And be back to serve for Sac State as well. And on the other side, same thing. Her serves in the earlier sets, putting some pressure at some points on the Stanford serve receive, but both of the liberos on each side trade service errors apiece back to back.
And that's kind of the dilemma you're faced with if you're Sacramento State. You have to serve them tough, because if Stanford's in system, Cammie Minor's going to take you apart.
Now Taylor Yu coming back. She's a serving specialist for Stanford here.
It has an ace already.
Pushing setter all the way back in Sac State.
Good dig by Pringle. And there's a kill for Stanford. Ruben, doubling up the Hornets.
Ruben aiming straight for our heads with that swing.
My bird brain kind of went into fight, flight, or freeze mode there for a second.
Right off of the top of the block there from Ruben.
It's Smith sent back. Good blocking coverage by Ampey.
Almost a block stuff, but covers that, and they send it back over.
Oh, there's the stuff block.
And there's the stuff. Sammy Francis with a big block there against Bridget Smith, senior outside hitter from Sac State. She kind of stuck there with the out-of-system set.
Out of system. Pretty good charging it in the back row attack. Oh, Ogilvie somehow keeps this rally going.
Great up from Ogilvie on that one.
It's Ruben. No touch.
Does not get the touch on that one. Sac State back to serve. Ogilvy, what a great up.
That was really impressive. Kate Dorn serving.
Usually runs a 6-2 offense with Pluggy. She's in to set right now.
Point on serve for Sacramento State. Not going quietly into the night, the Hornets.
Yeah, Smith knowing that she can't go straight into that block on Sammy Francis, so she's got to figure out some other options with her swings and takes that other one down the line, and Ruben comes back on that, using the block, and that ball flies out of.
Cami Miner shooting that one out to Ruben.
Great swing there from her.
Quick tempo ball from Miner, who has 34 assists. That serve will go long.
Ruben frustrated with that serve there. Sailing straight out. She put a lot of heat on that ball.
Stanford 5 points away from rounding this one out. We've heard from some volleyball luminaries. Of course, the broadcast, former All-American Kim Oden watching. Don Shaw, former national championship head coach here at Stanford. Big shout out to those two enjoying the match. Stanford is now 4 points away.
Ashlyn Archer trying to pancake that ball. Doesn't quite work, unfortunately, for Sac State. Coming back, getting close to the end of this final third set here. Stanford's able to close this out.
So here is Coco Kirsch. Oh, it's close to being out. Good swing down the line, Tisco.
Right side, Ellie Tisco with a big swing, the 6'1" senior opposite.
She's 6 for 10, hitting 600, is not committed in air. Might go to number 11 a little more here down the stretch of this one.
Yeah, kind of gone away from her a little bit so far in this match.
She had the first kill of the match. Haven't heard a ton from her since.
Good pickup on that tip from Tisco.
And look at Volkman tooling the block.
Volkman's been doing a really good job with that so far throughout the match and finding space with this big Stanford block in front of her.
Hornets making the Cardinal earn it here in the third set. Off the slide, Andrew missed.
That one just a little bit long. Didn't quite find the floor on that one.
3 straight here for Sacramento State. Inching closer.
That ball out of system.
Kurt.
Ruben actually with a pretty good bump set considering the angle and the location of where that was, trying to give E. Parkhurst something to swing at there. And, you know, she takes a big swing, goes after it, misses the hands a little bit, but tried to do something with that other than just send a free ball over to Sac State.
Sac State looked like they could have been run off the court in this third set, but they've got this back to a 5-point deficit, not for long, because there's E. Parkhurst.
Cami Miner getting that ball to her, and she was able to go line actually down. Their middle blocker on Sac State did not get out to that ball, but E. Parkhurst hits inside Tisco.
Cami Miner, 11.02 assists per set. That led the ACC. In line, there's Tisco. 7 for 11, hitting 636 on the right side. Hit a
7 kills for her now in the match. Such a high hitting percentage, as you just said.
Sacramento State hitting 218 in this match. It's not bad. Back set. There's Miner on blocking coverage.
Solid blocks from Sac State on that play. Volkman stopping E. Parkhurst's right side attack in the beginning.
Right.
And then they get a stuff block on Jordan Harvey on the outside.
They've gotten themselves back into this set. And they're only down 4, and they're running out of points, but this is a really game effort.
Back to Harvey, and that's that power tip. Straight down. across the hands.
That'll quell the spell. I'm going to get Taylor Bevan in to serve for Ipar Kurt. Bevan into the match. This is her 60th set of the season, the junior from St. Louis, or a senior, I should say, from St. Louis. 4th year on the farm for Bevan. Good pass. Volkman, the kill.
Big swing from her, straight down the line. And that's a hard one for Cami Minor. Puts her hands up to protect her face on that swing.
Yeah, that's about all you can do.
Yeah, about all you can do. And Jordan Harvey just late getting out to the line on that block.
So this is the most points Sacramento State has gotten in his set against the Cardinal tonight.
Harvey
they were ready for the tip.
Going for that power tip again. And Ruben does the same thing, but scores on that one off the hands.
The match point, 24-19. Cardinal looking to close out the Hornets. Ogilvy to terminate the match. Miscommunication in the back line. Volkman blocked, and that'll do it. Stanford closes this one out. 25-19, 25-17, 25-19, taking care of the Hornets in straight sets.
Yeah, 3-set sweep for the Cardinal and get this win, and now they need to get some rest tonight to prepare for a amped up and super hyped LMU team coming off of their big win earlier.
And the Cardinal end up hitting 392 in the match, out hitting Sacramento State 392 to 212. And really, the serve game was super impressive for the Cardinal with 12 aces in this one, Naya.
Yeah, I mean, that's everything. Getting another team out of system as often as possible is how you win. You do win on getting someone else out. Serve receive is always a big one, and Stanford did their job tonight. They did just that. Sac State, trying to figure out how they can battle this team, but it's hard to do. You can't run your offense. But a good battle from Sac State tonight. Again, have lost to Stanford every time they've faced them, and that streak for Stanford is continuing on here today. But Sac State happy to be back in the tournament this year.
All right, so Stanford moves on to take on LMU. The seeds all advance. It is chalk on this side of the bracket. Tomorrow, Florida will be taking on Kansas in an SEC Big 12 battle. That'll be 7:30 Eastern from Lawrence, Kansas, so 6:30 local time, and 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. local time here, Stanford and LMU. The winners will meet in the Sweet 16. So that'll do it for us. Big thank you to our entire production crew. For everyone involved, I'm Kevin Ann alongside Naya Crittenden saying so long from Stanford. Your finals for the final time. LMU outlasts Washington in 5 sets, and Stanford sweeps Sacramento State. So the ACC Powers will take on the WCC champions tomorrow, right here from Maples Pavilion.